if you're feeling discouraged or you're kind of like hitting a wall or in a rut, try to measure your progress on a weekly basis instead of on a daily basis. This is such a game changer. And when I shifted to this, I actually used to do this when my kids were little and I was focused on their eating, and I would get like frustrated if they weren't getting all of their, veggies and nutrition in for that day. And then I started breaking it up on a weekly basis, and it really just allowed me the time to really measure the progress with a little bit more grace instead of, how it has to be done every single day. And so when you're going through changes with yourself, some days, and especially for women, depending on your cycle and where you're at in your cycle, some days you may not tackle everything that you have on your to-do list or everything that you're trying to get done. So you have to measure it on a weekly basis instead of daily basis. So if you're striving for a workout 5 days a week, and you only do 3, you can still measure it as progress. As long as week over week or month over month you're gaining traction and you see the progress. Sometimes we don't see the progress until we actually look back, and then we say, oh yeah, like we look back at the last 6 months and be like, okay, there has been change. I have decluttered, I've trimmed down a little bit, my eating habits are better. And sometimes it takes the whole year to make those changes. And then you look back at the previous year and you're like, okay, there are some changes. I'm doing better. I'm not doing the same habits I did a year ago. And so it just takes time. And I found that measuring by the week instead of by the day, it just gives you a little bit of grace in that season. It can be really frustrating when you start feeling like, oh, I'm not completing my goals, I'm not getting anything done. And you also have to look at what you're doing, because we can be really busy with nonsense things. We can be really busy with things that aren't producing fruit, and those things take up our time. I even catch myself doing things that I'm like, what am I doing? This is, hours gone by. And so you have to catch yourself, because being busy and being productive are two different things. Being busy, the time is passing, but there's no fruit coming out of that. Being productive means you're producing something during that time. Even resting can be productive. Like, intentionally resting is so good for you. Intentionally recovering, and because it's producing calmness, and it's producing a clear state of mind, and it's producing, you're bringing yourself kind of back in to where you need to be, instead of being way out here and worrying about all this stuff that you can't handle, or worried about what's happening in the world or the future. So resting intentionally is also very important. It's an important part of the process. But being busy with meaningless stuff that's not producing, that you got to kick to the curb as much as you can, and replace it with producing, things that actually produce the results you want, that produce the fruits that you want, that are moving you in the direction that you want to go. They're changing you, they're changing your family, your atmosphere. Little things add up to be big things over time. So, but again, it does take time. So look at the week and say, okay, what have I done this week? Try to maximize, like eating 60% good as much as you can, and then move that to 80%, and give yourself some wiggle room as you grow and as you change. You also don't want to be just cramming extra things in on top of your to-do list. So you have to learn to say no to certain things in that season, to certain people. Like, no, like it's just not the season for me to hang out or whatever. Especially if you're focusing on fitness and health, you may have to say no to eating out, because that is usually where we sabotage our eating out, our health goals. We pack on the calories, the seed oils. And if you're consuming a lot of seed oils, your body's becoming more sensitive to the sun. And so in the summer months, or if you're outside, you're sabotaging your own body by what you eat. And then if you're putting on, banana boat or all this toxic sunscreen, then you're hurting your body even more, because it's all being absorbed into your organs. You're basically cooking yourself with toxic chemicals. So you have to really be mindful about what you're doing and what you're eating and where you're going in those specific seasons. But when I say measure by the week, it just helps. Like if you're in a decluttering stage, or you're in a whatever transition that you might be in, it just helps you to not be so overwhelmed in what you're trying to do. So you're giving yourself a little bit of grace during that week. I know this has really helped me because I can get really hard on myself, like, oh, I didn't do weights today. That's okay. I walked, and I did low incline or incline cardio at a zone 2. It's still good. You have to just break it up over, am I doing better than I did last month? Am I doing better than I did 6 months ago? So the goal is that you always want to be growing and developing, getting better, making better decisions. But remember, your old self is going to fight with your new self a lot of the time. And if you're not careful, your old self is going to win. Oh, just sit down. Like, for me, it's easy for me to sit down and do content at the table. I'm like, I have a gym downstairs in our apartment building. I could easily do exactly what I'm doing on the treadmill while I'm walking. It's hard to do it outside because I can't see because of the sunlight, but I make sure, like, these walk and talks actually keep me accountable to go walk, and I really enjoy walking. But if I didn't do them, I don't know, would I come up here when it's 110 degrees? Maybe not. Maybe I'd be like, oh, I'll just sit inside. It's always easier to do the easier thing. It's harder to do usually what's better for us. It's harder for us to get up and go. Even if it's convenient, it's right there. It's like there's ice cream, and then there's frozen broccoli that needs to be steamed, and there's ice cream right next to it. Which one's easier in the middle of the day on a hot day? Of course, ice cream's easier, and it's more delicious too. It's also an up and down process. So if you're in one of the down days, or you're up and down, like, it's easier to tell people, yeah, everything's going great when you're having an up day or an up week, or things are moving and grooving. But when you're in kind of a slump, that's when I would advise, it's like you want to tell everybody, oh yeah, it's just not going right, I'm just having a hard time, and I find myself like, I'm in a slump. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear about your slump. Get out of it. Go do something. The whole world's in a slump. It's like the last thing they need is another person complaining or another person feeling sorry for themselves. And so you gotta watch that. You gotta catch it. The best things to do when you're in a slump is to do the opposite. Do the things that make you feel better. Don't wallow in it. Don't make it worse. Turn away from it. Go for a walk. Hit the gym. Sometimes I just need to watch a funny movie. I just need to listen to some Christmas music. For me, it's therapeutic to clean the house to music. I like Christmas music. So I'll put on something fun while I'm cleaning the toilets. I actually love it. I enjoy cleaning up the home. It's something that I take a lot of pride in, and I just enjoy doing it. And sometimes I just need to play with my kids. All right, let's play a game. Let's play Uno. Let's just color, So you're moving in and out of different things. But again, you're not measuring it by the day, because some days you're like, well, I didn't get any of my stuff done, and then you feel like a complete failure. Don't do that. You're sabotaging yourself. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Every day is a new opportunity to do better. And sometimes, like, if I don't, a lot of people are like, well, get your workout done in the morning. It's really hard for me. I'm not a morning workout person. I need like an hour to kind of get things moving. I like to have my lemon. I like the slowness of the mornings more than, get up and go. My old self in my 20s, for sure, get up and go, get moving. I would wake up to put on EDM, electronic dance music. Boom, boom, boom. I'm getting myself ready for work. I got my energy drink and I'm going. Not in my 40s. In my 40s, I want a slow morning. I want to make my bed. I'm putting a face mask on. I'm going poop. Don't talk to me until I poop. I'm brushing my teeth, scraping my tongue, doing the laundry, unloading the dishwasher, having my lemon water. This is an hour process for me before I want to do anything or go anywhere. The older I get, the more I want slow mornings. I'm part of that slow morning club. Don't rush me. Hate being rushed. I'm not getting out the door. I don't have anywhere I have to go. If I'm in a workout season and the trainer has to meet at 6 a.m., that's different, because then my whole schedule's revolving around that, and it's something that I'm not obligated, but it's something that I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this. I signed up for this. I hype myself up for this. For this 3 months, I'm up at 6 o'clock 5 days a week, or at 5 o'clock 5 days a week to go work out and knock it out and get it done, because that's what's required of me during that, fitness season, or that push season. And along with that, I'm supplementing my body to be able to withstand that kind of, not pressure, but that kind of go, being in your 40s. So everything lines up to it. Like when I'm in a fitness season, I know I need some testosterone because my testosterone naturally is low. So what I do is I partner things up and I do some hormone replacement therapy when I'm needing that extra push. Don't judge me for it. It's amazing. If you have low testosterone and you need a boost, I love it. I do the bioidentical. I only do it during specific seasons. I'm not on it right now. This is why I'm in kind of a slower morning season. So the slower mornings are better. I'm cultivating time with my kids. We're not rushed to get up, to go, to do. We're kind of like, these are the things we have to get done this week. And I'll also let them manage their own schedules a little bit. Like my son, he's got his own little business. This is what you have to do this week. And his business requires specific lighting because he's recording and he likes the specific time of day light. If he misses it, he waits till the next day because he doesn't like to use lights. He likes the natural light for his videos, and he builds Legos on YouTube. So that's his thing. So this is your week. Now, if you don't do it Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, you better get it done Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. So I kind of give them the flexibility so they can really, cultivate their own schedule within that week boundaries. And I let them know once the time goes by, that's it. Like, you're in control of your time, then I want them to be mindful and control of it. So if you're wasting your time doing something that's not producing and you don't feel good about it, then we stop and we check that. But, when they're kids, I want them to color. To me, that's when they're spending an hour coloring or laughing or creative play.